Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do pick a card readings fairly frequently. Like I try to upload one at least once a week. Normally it's twice a week. I tend to be going at like a 4-day period at the moment. But make sure you stick around for your full reading because on my channel we don't just do cards, we also do charms and dice. So this is a reading for anyone who is single or is kind of in the process of removing themselves from a relationship and are interested in knowing what their next relationship is going to be. And this is also going to be a layered reading because I know a lot of you prefer to do that. So we're not just picking a pile of cards today, we're also choosing a gnome. So that basically just makes your reading a little bit more personal, a little bit more unique to you. So on the piles today, we've got pile 1, these eye patches for wrinkles. Basically, in my last love predictions reading, the one for July, I put face masks on each of the piles, so I thought today would be fun to put some eye masks on. So this is for wrinkles. Pile 2 has collagen eye patches. This basically just kind of brightens and firms your under eye. And pile 3 has these eye masks for dark circles. So whichever eye mask you would choose if you were here would be your pile, or maybe you're just feeling drawn to one in particular, even though it doesn't really match up to what you would choose. Just go by intuition. Just also an update on the phone situation, because if you're new to my channel, my phone broke a few days ago and it just completely died on me for no reason, and I had to take it to the shop to get repaired, but I had to leave it there. I still don't have it back, so I'm still using the substitute phone that they gave me, which is not as good, but I'm still able to do private readings and filming like this on it, so that's still going okay, but there may again be another slight delay if they can't fix the phone and I have to give this one back, or if I get it back just because it will take up the whole day, probably getting used to that. So that's just an update, but I will keep you updated on that situation as well. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who's supporting me on Patreon, including Alex, Alexandra, Kat, and Ashley. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world to me. Now, when you've chosen your eye patch, we're going to also choose a gnome. So we've got Gnome A, Gismund. I'm going to call them Gnomes A, B, C, and D. So if you forget their name, that's fine. So this is Gismund. He's got like a fluffy, starry hat. Gnome B is Gunvald. He's also got that kind of hat as well. And Gnome C is Geir, and he has more of a knitted hat. And Gnome D is Gjord, and he's the same. So whichever pile and whichever gnome is catching your eye, and it's fine to pick more than one, those will be your readings for today, and I'm going to put the timestamps in the description box, and also in the comments section it will be the pinned comment at the top. I would recommend also looking in the description box if you are interested in any of the decks that I use, because I always list them at the bottom of the description, and in the description box are also links for where you can get a private reading, which is my Etsy page. As always, remember to leave me your name, your email address, and your question. And if your question involves anyone else, then please give me their name as well. There's a little comments box when you book a reading to leave that information in before you have completed the transaction. And if anyone wants to help out the channel in any way, I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description. I also have an Amazon wish list for decks that I would love to get for the channel. If you're feeling super generous and you'd like to send me a deck, just comment below or send me an email or a message on Etsy to let me know, because that would be so lovely. Or if you would like to leave a little tip or a little donation to the channel, I have a PayPal link in the description as well. And thank you so much to everyone who has done that so far. It really makes my day whenever I see that. You guys are so kind and so generous, and it's just lovely that people care so much about my channel and the content that I create, that you want to actually support me in that way. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has done that so far. You really are beautiful, wonderful souls. Thank you so much. So when you have chosen your piles, it's fine to pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hey there, if you chose pile 1 with the eye patches for wrinkles, then this is the main part of your reading, but we will also do the extra messages from the gnomes just to kind of make it more unique to you, because I know a lot of you really enjoy when I do that. I don't do that for every reading just because it makes filming and editing so much longer than it normally would, but I do like to do it sometimes just to shake things up a bit and make it a bit more unique. So let's see what your next relationship is going to be like, and this might give us some hints about the person, maybe about how you'll meet, might also bring up some themes that are affecting you in love just generally. So your tarot cards, first of all, we've got Čtyřka vzduchu, the Four of Swords, Four of Air. Sedmička ohně, the Seven of Fire or the Seven of Wands. And Eso vody, the Ace of Water, Ace of Cups. And again, if you're new to my channel, I use a lot of decks that aren't in the English language because I speak several different languages at varying different degrees of fluency. So you will see Czech, like this one, Russian, German decks. I'm also looking to get a Danish deck at some point, so if I have any Danish fans out there, do let me know if you have any recommendations, because it would be nice to get one that is native to Denmark rather than just a translation. But what I'm seeing for you guys at the moment is that you've kind of taken a break from love in some way. Like when I look at this girl, I feel like she seems insecure, or she seems like she just is not ready to open up, like she's got these arms around herself, like she's protecting herself from something, and it seems like you've been in this kind of survival mode or shutdown mode because you haven't been willing to open up to love, maybe because you've been hurt in the past, or maybe because you just don't have the headspace to deal with it at the moment. And the Seven of Fire as well makes me feel like you've been kind of battling with yourself about this. It's like you want to have love, but you don't feel like you're able to have that at the moment. You don't feel confident enough, or you don't feel like there's enough space in your life right now for that. And it's like being this kind of justification of why you've been doing this, because when I think of the Seven of Wands, I think of having to justify yourself, having to defend your beliefs and decisions, even if the things that you're defending it against aren't actually real. Because you'll notice if you ever look at the traditional tarot card for the Seven of Wands, that the people holding up the wands that the person is like trying to defend themselves against aren't visible. You only see the wands, so it could all be in that person's mind or their own perception. But that's what I see here. There's been some kind of conflict where you've just not been feeling able to open up to love, or I don't feel like it's like you've been trying and it's not been coming. I feel like there's something within you that's been stopping you from receiving. But with the Ace of Cups, I do see love coming your way. I see you feeling more open to that in the future. I see you being able to be vulnerable again, because I think that's what you've been protecting yourself against, is not wanting to be vulnerable so that you get hurt again, and not wanting to have people see you with your insecurities, and have people see you when you've got your guard down and when you've got no makeup on and all of this kind of thing. Like that's what I'm seeing. But I think in the future you will feel comfortable opening up again, and this new love is going to come into your life. So let's look at what else we've got. So our romance angel card says, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So definitely it's like a situation that's in your headspace right now, because when I saw the Four of Swords, with it being a swords card, it's all about the way you're thinking. It's all about the things you're telling yourself in your mind. So remember to stay optimistic and keep that kind of excitement in your mind. Like stay in that enthusiastic, excited mindset to welcome in new love. And then we've got the Two of Wands here, and this is a fairy looking into the pond, and she's seeing the reflection of her true self, so who she really is on the inside, not the person that she shows to the world, or the kind of face that she puts on to the world. She's seeing her true self with all of this happiness and joy and beauty inside of it. So again, that's what I'm feeling like. You need to be prepared to actually share your inner world with other people, and you need to be prepared to show that side of you to other people, and to let other people see who you really are. But I like that it's the Two of Wands, because that again is like a two, two people coming together. And I'm kind of getting the feeling with it being the Two of Wands that maybe you will be friends with this person at first before it becomes something romantic, and it's like you just suddenly realize you have these feelings for them, or they kind of come out with it and you say, oh my goodness, yeah, actually I feel the same. Like that's the kind of feeling I'm getting from that. Then we've got Ancient, Ancestry, Egypt, Magical Inheritance, number 4, like the Emperor. I feel like this is potentially a past life relationship where you have had previous lifetimes with this person in ancient civilizations. So that could be Egypt, Mesopotamia, Babylon, ancient Arabia is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the Middle East, but this could also be Greece as well, Rome, those kinds of civilizations. So that's really interesting. You might feel particularly connected to Egypt or to other ancient civilizations. And so I see this as being like a really deep connection, one that goes back many lifetimes. I don't think it's just one. And we've got Verde Prato, wounds, number 33, which boils down to 6, the lovers. Yeah, I think that you have been recovering from something that's left you kind of wounded in love. I feel like you've had a bit of a rough time of it, and you just haven't felt confident enough or strong enough yet to open yourself up to love. And I feel like it's possible that the person you meet will kind of mirror what you've been through, so that they will also have had some kind of negative experience in love recently that's also left them feeling a little bit, not insecure, but just a little bit wounded. So just be aware that the person you meet might also have had that experience, and it's kind of like you've been mirroring one another. And we've got hold your vision, fixed moon. So yeah, definitely, keep this in mind that this is coming, and believe in it and start acting as though it's already there in your life. Start being there to welcome this person into your life. Imagine, number 20. So yeah, imagining that they are here, kind of keeping that vision in your mind. Maybe some of you have actually had a dream about this person, or you have kind of been dreaming of love or being in a relationship, and that's kind of telling you that they're on their way. And we have between worlds, number 3. Yeah, so this is like saying you're in this transition period. This person seems like they're already on their way, but on your end, you just need to be working on getting your confidence back and kind of getting more ready within yourself to open up and to allow this person to come in, because I see you having already put some work in, but it's just like you just need to keep going that a little bit of the way to be fully confident and fully ready to welcome this person in. And then we've got vybíraj si pozitivní myšlenky. Choose positive thoughts for yourself. And that's definitely what this seems to be centered on, the way that you're thinking. Like we've got the stay optimistic about your love life, we've got the 4 of Swords, hold your vision, imagine, and now this card as well. It seems like you've been trying to talk yourself out of trying online dating, or you've been trying to tell yourself that you're too old, you're never going to meet someone that is, right for you, or you're not there yet. Like you're never going to have the opportunity to meet someone, or they're not going to be the perfect person for you. I feel like you've just been a little bit down on yourself recently, and it's time to start thinking more positively. So I'm going to put your charms on top because they will give us some more information as well, and then we'll do your dice. So group 1, who is your next relationship going to be with? What's this relationship going to be like? Okay, wow. So straight away we've got the eternal love symbols. This is definitely a past life relationship. This is definitely someone you've had a previous lifetime connection with. We've got the letters U and W. So that could be someone's name or surname. It could be a word that comes to you, or a place name perhaps. We've got the growth symbol there as well, that feeling of growing, feeling of becoming more healthy. The music symbol as well, creativity, joy as well. Listen to your inner wisdom with this little elephant. Maybe you have been getting these little hints or these repeated symbols or repeated thoughts, because I can see there as well, your dreams and intuition are very strong at this time. So pay attention to your dreams. I would recommend maybe starting a dream diary, because it seems like that's how you're getting these messages, or that's how you're getting some guidance. We've got the kissy lips there, someone wants to kiss you, and the 2 hearts entwined. That's so beautiful. The cookie jar as well, that's telling you to treat yourself and stop being so harsh on yourself. Like, feels as though you have been quite down on yourself recently, and this is saying treat yourself, do something indulgent that makes you feel good, whether that's, maybe buying yourself some new clothes or getting a haircut or your nails done. just something that lifts your mood a little bit, you know, makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. And we've got dreaming of the sea as well. So that word dreaming, again, coming through pretty strongly. Dreaming of the sea makes me feel of longing, you know, longing for someone, really wanting someone to come into your life, or missing someone. Maybe you just feel as though you miss this person, even though you haven't met them in this lifetime, because this is a previous lifetime connection. You feel like you miss them, even though you technically don't know them yet, if you see what I mean. There's the weight there, the burden. So this, something has been kind of weighing quite heavily down on you. Maybe you're also worried about your body image if you have been maybe putting on weight recently, or you just feel like there's something not perfect about the way you look, and that's causing you to be less confident than you should be. We've got the hair as well, and this is telling you to just be yourself, be mad as a March hare. You don't need to conform to anyone else's standards. It's also a symbol of fertility and of springtime, so maybe you'll meet someone in the spring. This is a timeless reading. We've got the party hat there, which is about celebration and milestone events as well. So maybe you'll meet this person kind of at a party or a wedding, or you might meet them around a special date, like someone's birthday or anniversary, graduation day, these kinds of like important dates. Got a fairy there, fairy magic symbolism. So fairies are around you at this time, and you have got a fairy here as well, and that's also a fairy. So I love these repeated symbols that we get. And if you're new to my channel, you won't know this, but I'm basically going to start doing elemental readings on this channel when I get back to the UK, because I live in Russia at the moment, but planning on moving next week, hopefully, if I can get a flight. But basically I will be doing air, water, earth and fire elemental readings, so fairies, gnomes, dragons, merfolk, etc. I do offer those on the Etsy page already, although I don't have my dragon cards with me in Russia, they're in the UK, so I'm not currently offering fire elemental readings, but I will start that back up when I get to the UK. So we've got anchor there, which is my symbol of stability, security. I think this person will make you feel a lot more secure and a lot more confident in yourself. Like the fact that they are going to be around for you and are going to be kind of loving and caring for you is going to make you feel like you can grow. It's going to make you feel like you have that stable foundation to build on. Got the winter symbol as well. So this is like coming out of the winter and into the spring. So maybe that is just a reinforcement of when you're going to meet this person. And we also have the car there, the progress, the fast progress. It's like when you imagine this and when you hold this vision of this person, it starts to come towards you more quickly. So let's get your dice on top now, when I can find my dice. So basically how I do this is I roll a 6-sided dice to see which set we're going to use today. Okay, and that's number 5, so we're using the actions dice. And then I roll this 10-sided dice to see how many of them we're going to roll, and if I get a 0 or a 1, I roll again. 6, okay. So I'm not really seeing any zodiac signs yet. We've just got the initials. Okay, so what can you tell us about Group 1's next romantic relationship? You might get some zodiac signs in your gnome message because they also will be using tarot cards. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, it's like, so this landed on the 4 of Swords, which is that card about, you know, the mind and thinking, and this is someone being drawn, like a person being drawn with a pencil, if I can focus the camera. Yeah, a person being drawn with a pencil. So it's like the image of this person is coming to you in your dreams, or you need to imagine what this person will be like to help manifest them. That's really, really interesting, because it seems like the area of your mind is so powerful at the moment, Group 1. We've got the dancing person. Allow yourself to have fun, allow yourself to feel in that kind of flow and in that happy, expectant, enthusiastic energy again. Because if you're feeling kind of, closed off and insecure, then they're not going to come towards you, because what you're telling the universe energetically is, I'm not ready. I don't want this to come into my life yet, because it would make me feel unsafe, or it would make me feel challenged in some way. So we've also got the person climbing the tree, makes me again think of ascending, going up in the world, and the person who is kind of just managing to lift that weight. So again, improving your situation, getting that weight off your chest. It's like, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Then the person who is giving a gift. So this landed on your wounds card, and I feel like this is just saying, don't be afraid to give again. Don't be afraid to show people who you really are, and to let people into that inner space. Because I just keep being drawn back to the image of this woman who's kind of got her arms around her to protect herself. And it's like, you need to get back into that mindset of being ready to give again. And obviously I understand with the whole lockdown situation all over the world, if you're watching it when I'm posting this video, it has caused a lot of people to feel anxious about going back out into the world again. And I know that I am not a particularly anxious person. I'm quite a confident person, but the idea of going to the supermarket feels pretty overwhelming to me sometimes. Just being back in that crowd of people and having to do all of that, it just feels overwhelming. So also the idea of full-on socializing again is probably scary to a lot of people. So just allowing yourself to ease back into doing that again is really important, especially if you suffer from anxiety outside of this pandemic. Like if you suffer with that already, then that's especially going to be affecting you. And then what I'm seeing here is the ball that's like bouncing off the ground, or that's bouncing off the wall, because it could be either. And there are quite a few dice in this set with balls, and so I see the ball as being like energy that you're putting out there. So what I'm seeing, I tend to see it as being bouncing off a wall. It's like this energy is coming back to you. This is someone you already know. This is energy that has already been exchanged and is returning to you. So this is going to be quite an intense relationship is what I'm feeling. Don't be scared by that or put off by that, because I don't think it's a negative thing. Just be aware that you will feel like you really know this person before you kind of get to know them properly, if you see what I mean. This is going to be a little bit intense, so remember not to be overwhelmed by that. Just be open to receiving. Don't worry about where it's going and how fast it might move, just enjoy the experience. Don't worry about what the future holds for that relationship. Just allow yourself to receive and to give with love. So if you haven't already chosen your gnome, you can go to the front of the video and choose one. Or if you have done that and you remember what his name is, or whether he's A, B, C, or D, then you can just go to the timestamps and jump to the gnome now, because I'm now going to move on to pile number 2. Hey there, if you chose the Collagen eye mask, then this is the main part of your reading anyway, the main part, because you're also going to get the gnome, at least one if you chose one, and that's going to give you just some more information about the relationship, just to make it more kind of individual to you, more personalized. So you got the most tarot cards, group 2, because I only wanted 3, but we got 4 today. So let's see what your next relationship is going to be like. So we've got Měsíc, the moon, Sedmička země, the 7 of pentacles, or 7 of earth, Osmička vzduchu, the 8 of air, or the 8 of swords, and Eso země, the ace of pentacles, or the ace of earth. So as far as signs go, I'm seeing Pisces here at the moment. And if you're new to my channel, I do use several decks that are in different languages, because I speak several different languages. So we've got a Czech deck here today, and there is another one as well. I do sometimes use German and Russian decks, and I'm looking for a Danish deck as well. So if I have any Danish fans, do please suggest in the comments section if you know any good Danish decks. I'd like to get one that's kind of unique to Denmark, made by a Danish artist rather than just a translation of a deck, which is what this is. But what I'm seeing here, aside from the Pisces energy, is that there is some healing going on for you. Well, there has been some healing in your recent past. Group number 2 feels like you've done a lot of reflection to move on from a situation that caused you some pain, or a situation that kind of dragged out for a long time. And what I'm seeing is a waiting period where you this is kind of similar to group one in a way, because it's like this feeling of being insecure, or this feeling of something's not going to change, something's not going to come towards me, I've waited for so long. That's what I've got. And as with group one, it feels like your mindset is kind of keeping you stuck in this situation, because the Eight of Swords is this, it's a swords card, so it's all about the mentality. It feels like you are energetically, or you have been energetically, not allowing yourself to receive, because you've been maybe subconsciously trying to protect yourself from being in a situation again where you would get hurt. And just, it feels like you need to fully open up to that, fully put the past behind you and let it, you know, put it to rest. Because I'm just seeing you feeling as though positive things aren't going to come your way, because there's been this long waiting period. But with the Ace of Pentacles, I do see a lovely committed relationship that is going to be healthy. That's the main focus of the Ace of Pentacles, is this healthy feeling. And I just love this stag as well, because the stag to me is a symbol of the masculine. It's a symbol of the divine masculine. So I just think that's a lovely message as well of new things coming your way, which are going to be healthy. There is quite a bit of Pentacles energy, so earth energy as well, but my main zodiac sign that I'm seeing so far is Pisces. So let's see what else we've got. We've got you deserve love. You are lovable. So yes, if you have been suffering with self-esteem issues, or if you have been feeling like because of your past, you're not going to find someone to love you, you know, maybe you worry that you're too old, or you have children, or too much baggage, and it just feels like in your mind you're telling yourself like it's not going to happen, or you're telling yourself that you're going to have to settle if you find someone, and that's just not the case. You deserve someone who loves you with all the love that you deserve. It's such a beautiful card. And we have the Nine of Wands here, and in this deck the Nine of Wands is all about healing, and to me this is just a validation that you have been through this tough time. The Nine of Wands feels like you've been battling, trying to stay positive, but it feels like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet. It feels like you've just been through some really difficult things love-wise, and in terms of how you relate to yourself. And this fairy is looking into this garden, and this is symbolic of her welcoming herself into this healing garden, and she's going to learn all about herbal healing, flower healing, color healing, etc. And it's just such a beautiful image, just saying that you're about to be welcomed into this new space if you dare to enter it, because it does feel as though energetically you're holding yourself back a little bit. So definitely, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but just around the corner it's going to be there. So please don't give up. Please don't start telling yourself that it's not going to happen. Just keep going, because I do see there being someone in your future. And we've got natural, authentic, real, organic. And so this is going to be a very authentic relationship. This is not going to be a relationship where there is any game playing or mind games or holding something back and then only telling you when you're like several dates in. Like, no, that's not going to happen here. You're going to be free to be your true self, and free to just, you know, say who you are and what you've been through, and that person will accept that. And this is also the number 40, which boils down to 4, like the Emperor. Again, that divine masculine symbol. And we've got Snow White and Rose Red, Sister Love, number 26, which boils down to 8. And yeah, 8 and 4, like these symbols of stability. And so with Sister Love, I feel like this person is a family person, like they're very family oriented. And I think just in general, this is going to be a relationship where there's going to be a lot of care involved, like mutual affection and mutual care, as well as the attraction and all of the other things. There's like genuine care there, which is really, really lovely. And obviously we've got the colors of white and red here, so that might be significant, because I noticed that it's in this card as well. So maybe that's like this person's favorite colors, maybe it's your favorite colors, maybe they will have red hair or slightly graying hair, you know. That's what I'm seeing, because there's the cardinal bird there and this little white bird. I'm not sure which kind of bird that is, but you might know. You might comment below if you know anything about birds. But I like this kind of bird. And then we have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. So yeah, that's just validating the earth energy that we were getting there as well. And this, your dreams need a practical plan, it's telling me more than one thing. Firstly, I feel like this person that you're going to meet is quite a practical person. Like they've got their head screwed on, they know what they want in life, and they know how to get it. Like, they're just, if they have an idea, they don't sit around thinking about how they would like that. They start making a to-do list or making a plan, and they just start going at it. You know, they don't need anyone to help them. They just are self-motivated, and they will get there, and they will use the resources that they have to get there. I'm definitely feeling that this person is a bit of a homebody and definitely like family oriented. But your dreams need a practical plan also tells me that maybe you are not doing enough to bring this person into your life. If you have been through this period of healing or kind of protecting yourself a little bit, maybe you just haven't been opening up to ways of meeting someone. Like, maybe you haven't been trying online dating because you're afraid, or you think that you're too good for that and like only desperate people do that. Or maybe you just think that, you know, it's a bit awkward to sit around in bars or to start doing an evening class in the hope of meeting someone. Like, it feels as though you're not fully open to it, and there's a few things that you need to start doing just to optimize your chances of meeting someone. So think about what you would be comfortable with. Think about what you could start doing, like joining a class or a course, like, you know, going for walks if you have a dog or something. That's often how people get talking to you if you have a dog. Like trying online dating if you have been putting that off, not wanting to do it, just give it a go. There's no one saying you have to date any of these people, but someone might catch your eye. And we've got time for a nap there, number 24. So yeah, it does feel as though you have been in this kind of downtime, just resting and recovering from something. It feels as though you've just been needing that time to you. And maybe you've been using the lockdown situation just to kind of build yourself back up again. I think it's been a big awakening for a lot of people. And I think it's been a much needed healing time for a lot of people as well. Although I know, of course, some people have really struggled with it. I think some people just needed that time to themselves to get to know themselves better and to address situations from their past that they were still carrying around. And we've got this lovely card, Věda tě šťastná hvězda, which is a lucky star is guiding you. And I think that's so beautiful. This angel is holding onto this star like it's a little balloon, and that's just saying you are being guided. You do have these lovely angels who are guiding you, and you will find this lovely relationship. You just got to open up to it, and, you know, to start thinking more positively about yourself and about your life. So I'm going to put your charms and then your dice on top now, and they will hopefully give us some more information. I forgot to say this for pile 1, so this is my disclaimer. If you're wearing headphones or if you have the volume turned up really loud, I would recommend turning it down a little bit now, because these can be quite loud. They are largely metal charms, so when I'm shuffling them, it can be pretty loud. So that's your warning. I forgot to say for pile 1, so there'll probably be someone commenting below telling me off. Okay, so group 2, what is your next relationship going to be like? What can we learn about this person? Okay, so initials, we've got the letter Q and P. So Q and P, that could have some meaning for you. It could be someone's name or surname. It could be a place. It could just be a word that comes to you. We've got the bird cage there, and I did notice that you have got a few birds here, like obviously these birds, and then with it being the swords card in this deck, there are these bird feathers there. So this bird cage is this feeling of being trapped. It is like the 8 of Swords card. So you do feel stuck in your current situation. You feel like something is just not going to change. We've got the snowman and the hare. And so these have two meanings. So the snowman is about wintertime and the hare is about springtime. So that could be when you meet this person. It could be the winter changing into spring. It could be winter or spring. You actually might want to watch group 1 as well, because there are a lot of similar messages here, and they both got these exact charms as well. So I think that's pretty interesting. But kind of the focuses are different, although the messages are quite similar. But the hare is also very similar to this card, because it's telling you, be mad as a March hare. Don't change yourself for anyone. Just be your natural, authentic self. It's also a fertility symbol, so if you are hoping to have children in the future, then I feel like this person would want that as well, because it feels like this person is very family oriented. We've got self-care there as well with the lipstick. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are feeling the best you can feel about yourself before you welcome in someone new. You can see that we've got the bad luck charm there. It does feel like you feel as though you've been through a run of bad luck. We've got the leaf there, which is the symbol of shedding, releasing things that you no longer need. Listen to your inner wisdom because you're being guided by some kind of internal voice, and you will find a solution here. You will find someone. And I think that's lovely as well with the key, because whenever I get a key, it's just that lovely confirmation that this is going to resolve very nicely. We've got courageous, which is Aries energy, so that's another zodiac sign coming through. But courageous is just reminding you to be brave, to actually open up to this and let your guard down, because I can see we've got a shield up there as well, this kind of wall energy to protect yourself and defend yourself. I will say this person that we're talking about here seems pretty masculine, so it's very likely that they're going to be a man, but I feel like they're actually quite a masculine man as well. Just want to point that out. We've got the dragonfly here, which is a good luck symbol. And then the hockey sticks wrapped around with this worry thread. So whenever I get this wrapped around something, it's indicating that there's some worry there. And the hockey sticks is my symbol of teamwork because they're kind of crossed together. It feels like you're worried that you won't get an equal relationship, that you will end up kind of doing someone's laundry for them all the time and looking after their kids, or that they just won't be giving as much as you do in a relationship. And it's saying don't allow yourself to accept that, because there will be people who are willing to give you a 50-50 relationship. But it seems like that's kind of what you're worried about, and maybe that's the reason why you don't want to put yourself back out there, because you're thinking, I don't want to get myself into a relationship again where it's just not going to be equal. We've got listen to your inner wisdom again, these owls coming through, and that's another bird. And we also have the turtle, that symbol of things moving slowly. There's no need to rush here. And I feel like also this person with all of these pentacles energy, especially the 7 and the ace, and then the Taurus energy, I don't think this person is the kind to rush. I think this person will want to take it slowly. They're not concerned about getting physical straight away or anything like that. They're just going to be pretty respectful, is what I feel. And they don't want to rush this situation because they don't want to ruin it by doing that. We've got another winter symbol with the Christmas tree. So winter coming through pretty strongly. And the manta ray as well. That's another kind of go with the flow feeling. And the manta ray is telling you just try out a few things. And if you feel at any point threatened or uncomfortable, that's when you stop. Like, don't stop yourself from doing something just because you worry it will go wrong. But listen to your intuition along the way, you know, just go with the flow, go with what feels right for you. I always think of manta rays as being really kind of intuitive, sensitive creatures, because they lie on the bottom of the water and they just feel for any kind of change in the current on their tummy or on the top of their body to know when there's something there that's going to be like food or a predator or anything. They just feel those tiny little ripples. So they seem like a really intuitive creature. We've got the black obsidian ball as well there. That's like the fear of the unknown, because that's like a symbol of mystery, things being hidden from you. It's like you're afraid to put yourself into that unknown situation, like that kind of better the devil you know kind of thing. And then we also have the fairy sitting on the moon, just waiting for her dreams to come true. It does feel as though you've been waiting for someone to just kind of knock on your door and say, here I am, I'm your next relationship. Like it's as though you're not really doing a lot like of your own accord to welcome this person in. So maybe just try and think about how you can maximize your opportunity to meet someone. And now what I'm going to do is put your dice on top. So if you're new, I roll a 6-sided dice to see which set of dice we're going to use, because I have several and I am looking into getting more. Okay, so we've got number 5, which is also the same as group 1. So there's a lot of similarities here. And then I roll this 10-sided dice to see how many we use. And if I roll a 0 or a 1, I just roll again to try and get you some more. So how many dice am I rolling for group 2? 1. Okay, let's try again. 7. That's better. Okay. So what can you tell us about Group 2's next relationship, next romantic partner. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what was I just saying? Here's the person ringing the doorbell. What was I literally just saying about you waiting for someone to just knock on your door and say that they're the person for you? Like, it feels as though you've got to, this fairy there is opening the gate to allow someone in. It's like you're wanting that to happen, but you're not giving them the opportunity to come into your life, if you see what I mean. There is a fear there as well. This person who is looking very scared, like peeping through their hands, afraid of the future. And this person as well is just walking forward nicely. This person seems fairly laid back, like they seem kind of a low drama person, which is pretty nice. And I think pretty soon, like when you start speaking to them, you'll hit it off and you'll think, yeah, this is the person for me. Just feels like they are very natural, they are very easy to talk to, they don't put a lot of pressure on you, they're not like an overly dramatic person, they just want things to go smoothly. So I'm not saying that they're kind of, they'll just do whatever you want kind of thing, like really agreeable person, but it just feels as though they're low drama. They are happy to change plans if it doesn't work out the first time. You know, if you have to change plans at the last minute, they're not going to get annoyed with you. They're just going to be like, yeah, okay, we can change it to this day. So that's what I'm feeling there. Now it's moved. Okay, there. And yeah, so the ball as well, there's a lot of dice in this set with balls on them, and I see the ball as being like the energy. So it feels as though love has kind of slipped through your fingers here. It feels like you're worried that you've dropped the ball, like you're not going to be able to get back in the game again. It feels like you've been maybe out of relationships for quite a while, or you feel as though you're not in the swing of it anymore. You know, you don't know, almost don't feel confident getting into a relationship again. So that's the worry there for you, and that's what's causing this fear. But now you need to start sowing the seeds of what's going to come. You need to start building yourself up, reminding yourself that you do deserve love, that you are lovable. We've got some really lovely messages for you here today. And also reminding yourself, like this angel card has said, that you are going to have happiness. You are going to find happiness because this happy star, this lucky star, is guiding you. So it's like this sowing the seeds of abundance kind of thing, which I think is really, really nice. And then also the butterfly catching, just again, finding the one. You will find this person. This is going to be the right person for you as well. This is just a really, really lovely energy. So that's what I've got for the main part of your reading, group 2. And now you need to go back to the front of the video and pick a gnome if you haven't done that already. Or if you have and you remember his name or kind of whether he was A, B, C or D, then you can just go to the timestamps and jump forward to that, because I'm going to move on to pile 3 now. Hey there, if you chose the eye patches for dark circles, then this is the main part of your reading, and then your gnomes will also give you some more information just to make it more personalized for you. So let's take a look at your cards and see what we've got information-wise. So we have Caesar, the Emperor. Lovely way to start. We've got Hierophant, the Hierophant. And Dvojka Zemlya, the Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Earth. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, I do use a few decks that aren't in the English language because I speak several different languages. So I have Czech decks like this one. I also have a couple of German decks and Russian decks as well. I'm also looking for a Danish deck, so if I have any Danish fans, please do comment below if you have any suggestions for which decks I could get in Danish. I would really prefer to have something that's kind of, you know, unique to Denmark in the way that it's made by a Danish artist rather than just a translation, which is what this deck is. So would love to have any suggestions down below. So what I'm seeing here, group 3, is that you will possibly have 2 options coming towards you, because we've got the Two of Pentacles there, this feeling of balance, and then we have 2 kind of people cards, the Emperor and the Hierophant. For some of you, this will just be one person who has both of these qualities. I'm seeing Aries and Taurus energy here, and quite strong Earth in general. But yeah, this is definitely like a strong masculine energy here. And I'm seeing someone who is very masculine, very committed as well. basically the Hierophant is someone who wants something long-term, wants something committed. The Emperor is also able to provide that. The Emperor doesn't really play games in the way that some people do. He's just very open about what he needs, what he wants, etc. The only thing that could potentially be a warning sign about the Emperor is that, especially with this deck, because he's got a lion's head, he might have quite a big ego. So that's the only thing I would say about that. For some of you, this person will also be pretty religious or have like very strong opinions, very strong beliefs, even if that's just about their own kind of personal philosophy. They're very, very strongly convinced of their beliefs, and so that's something that's very important to them as well. So let's get some more information. We've got getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So I feel like this relationship, and this definitely goes well with what the tarot cards are saying, it's not going to be something that is rushed by the other party. Like, they want to get to know you first before anything physical or before saying that it's a committed relationship. They want to really get to know you. I think you will spend quite a long time talking to each other, and that's probably mainly going to be online or through messenger apps of some kind. That's what I'm seeing, is that you spend a long time getting to know each other and forming that bond that way. Oh, we've also got the 9 of Hearts, which is really lovely, the 9 of Cups card. So this is about allowing yourself to receive your heart's desire, and I really think this relationship is going to be very fulfilling for you. This is such a lovely card. Like, I read the guidebook on this card a few times because I got it a few times for myself as well when I was doing readings, and this is about saying this mermaid is finally ready to have this cup filled and to have that cup overflowing with abundance. So you might want to just, I think this deck in particular is really good for this kind of thing, these kind of visualizations. You might want to just pause the video and just imagine being in the water as well, or being a mermaid, and holding up a jug or a vase like that, and just allowing it to be filled and overflowing from one of these waterfall streams, because that's such a beautiful, beautiful image. And with the winged hearts as well on the rainbow, like, you might want to just imagine taking one for yourself and putting it in your heart chakra, kind of fluttering like the snitch does. Just a really beautiful image, so you might want to use that as a visualization. So then we've got seduction, allure, desire, manipulation, number 8. So there's definitely a strong sexual attraction in this situation as well. I don't feel like this person's going to rush with this, but I think they're going to be a very flirtatious, very good with their words kind of person, like very charming, very charismatic, etc. And the Snow Queen, loyalty, number 36. This is definitely someone who's very committed, very loyal. I got that from the Hierophant as well. And to be honest, also from the Emperor, because the Emperor, like I said, doesn't play games, and the Emperor adores the Empress, even though he doesn't seem to be very emotionally available in some ways, because he's wearing these metal gauntlets, and he's generally wearing metal shoes as well to symbolize his restrictive energy, compared to the Empress, who is the creator, the giver, the expansive energy. He loves and supports the Empress, and he is that kind of firm foundation from which she can build, from which she can be creative. So this is someone who is loyal. And show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. So Aquarius energy coming through now as well. What I think is important here is that you don't play games in this situation. And by that I mean, don't try and be the person that you think this person would want to go out with. Like, don't try and mold yourself to be what you think they would want. Just be your authentic self, be who you really are, because otherwise the relationship is going to be built on an act, or it's going to be built on some kind of falsehood. So remember to just be yourself, and to allow yourself to receive, and, you know, not feel as though you have to conform in any way. I think that's a really nice message there. Just be yourself, be who you are. So then we've got never ending story, number 37. So I think this might be what this is talking about with the two people. For some of you, you are still kind of stuck in a situation that you can't quite pull yourself away from just yet, or that you're still feeling the energy from a previous connection. So I think some of you are still healing from a past relationship, or from like a situationship that dragged out for a very long time. For some of you also, you will have known this person in a previous lifetime, and that's what this never ending story is about. Like, it's just another incarnation of this relationship. So it does seem very powerful. I mean, the Emperor, when the Emperor comes out in a love reading, that's a very powerful message. And nevzdávej se naděje. Don't give up hope. And this is beautiful, you guys, because look at this. Look at the rainbow imagery and the heart imagery as well that's on both cards. Okay, let's extend this visualization. So you filled up your jug, you've let it overflow from the water, and you've taken that winged heart and you've put it in your heart chakra, just like how when they put the golden snitch into the space in the box and it like clicks in. And now you imagine that rainbow shooting into that heart space in your heart chakra and just filling it with that beautiful rainbow healing, beautiful energy charge. So let's just do that. You can pause the video to do that. Just think that's such a lovely little visualization that you could do. So I'm going to put your charms and your dice on top now, group 3. Maybe just move these down a little bit because I pushed them up to make more space, but then I didn't have as many cards as I thought I did. So let's pull these down. There. And I will just say as a disclaimer as well, if you're wearing headphones or if you have the volume on very loud, I would recommend turning it down a little bit because these are mainly metal charms and they can be quite loud when I shuffle them. And I forgot to say this for pile 1, so you have been warned. I will probably get some comments below telling me off for not reminding them in pile 1, but I'm sorry, I do forget sometimes. Okay, so group 3. What is your next relationship going to be like, and what can you tell us about your next romantic partner? Wow, you guys, you've got quite a lot of charms going on here. So let's look at your initials. We've got W, D, and K. So W, D, and K, those could be first names, surnames, place names, just a random word. We've got Aquarius again, and of course that beautiful water jug energy that's coming in, that symbolism, it's there, and now it's there. I love it when we get these repeated signs, you guys. It's such a beautiful thing. So Aquarius coming through pretty strongly. We've got the word brave. Be brave enough to show who you really are. And the fortress as well, which indicates that you have been kind of in a slightly shut off mode recently. And this has come up in every pile. So I guess like a lot of people have been feeling this way, that in every pile so far there's been an energy of not being ready to open up to someone, or not being available to someone. So I definitely think that in this period of time you've just been closed off for whatever reason. There's the princess there as well. This person is going to treat you very well, and like I said, I feel like this is a very masculine energy, and so they're going to need someone who's fairly feminine to kind of counteract that. There's the blessings charm there as well. Good blessings coming towards you, good things coming your way, and no longer feeling like you've just been through a period of bad luck, like no longer feeling as though you're in that cycle of negativity. We've got yoga and meditation there, so maybe meditating, doing that visualization will allow this person to come in. The attachment charm as well, they're going to be very attached to you on this loyalty card. There's an opportunity to have children with this person. There's a baby boy symbol there. And inner wisdom as well. Listen to your inner wisdom. You are being guided in some way. You are being given some downloads about this person. So then we've got the mature man. So it's probable this person will be a bit older than you or a bit more experienced than you. So I'm not saying they're going to be old or anything, or that there's going to be like a massive age gap, but maybe they're like 5 years older, something like that. Or maybe they've just had more experience in relationships than you have, and that's why they're being shown as more mature here. There's the growth symbol as well. I think this relationship is going to allow you to grow, and that's what I was explaining about the dynamic between the Emperor and the Empress. So obviously the dynamic between all of the different kings and queens is different because of what they represent. But with the Emperor and the Empress, I feel like the Empress being such a creative force, if she didn't have that that stability of the Emperor who helps her to make her creations into something practical and something successful and something with a purpose. She would kind of be creating for creation's sake, like it would be art for art's sake rather than art that has a specific purpose or a specific way of fitting into the world, because the Emperor is what orders everything and puts it into a hierarchy and puts it into a position. So it's like this person will help you to grow by giving you that firm foundation from which you can grow. So that's a nice energy. And also self-care here. Self-care is important. You know, taking care of yourself so that you feel confident enough to welcome in this person. There's passion and excitement there with the chilies as well. Cupid or Eros coming through as well. So whenever I pull out a god charm, that means this god is wanting to work with you, wanting to help you out. And so it's lovely that you've got Eros. You might want to light a candle for him and say a prayer or a blessing. You might want to meditate with Eros as well. And the hummingbird is saying love is in the air. These are such beautiful messages. We've got the feminine energy there, so that would be representing you, I feel, because this is such a strong masculine energy. Protection and faith. Like I said, I feel for a lot of you, this person is very religious or has like very strong beliefs or opinions. Got the calculator, which is about working out what you want, and I feel like that's referring to this period of getting to know each other before you make it official. I also think this person has quite a logical, analytical mind. I think they're a bit of a philosopher as well. And we've got the ink pot, the creativity, the inspiration. It also makes me think of correspondence, like with writing letters. Got a love heart there, and the olive branch, reaching out to someone reaching out to you. And the Russian doll. For some of you, there will be a Russian connection here with someone's name or surname, or with someone's family history, or maybe they speak Russian. For some of you also, though, it's about this card showing the world the real you, because this Russian doll is like putting on this pretty face to the world, but if you open her up, there's another one inside, and you open her up, there's another one inside. It's like bottling up how you really feel and just having this kind of fake face to the world. So make sure that you are really showing who you really are and not being afraid to do that, because that will make you seem more confident and people are attracted to that. And also with the Emperor, he wouldn't want someone who was deceiving him in any way or who was trying to be fake or trying to lead him into a certain direction, because the Emperor is the one who likes to lead. So that would kind of have an adverse effect on his ego, if you see what I mean. That's his way of thinking, is I want that person to be truthful with me so that I know what the situation is. There's defensiveness there as well, and the shadow self, the bat, again, lower those wall energies that you might be putting up, or remove that face that you might be putting onto the world. And we have the Easter Bunny. So this is a symbol of springtime and also of surprises. So maybe you'll meet this person in the spring. This is a timeless reading. So let's do your dice now. What I do if you're new is I roll this 6-sided dice to see which set we're going to use, because I have quite a few sets of dice. Okay, we're using number 4, which is the Looney Tunes dice. And then I roll a 10-sided dice to see how many of them will roll. And if we get a 0 or a 1, then I roll again to try and get you some more. Okay, 8. 4 and 8. Yeah, 4 and 8 seems to be quite strong here, because we've got the Emperor, which is a 4, and obviously this seduction card as well is saying 8, and so it's this feeling of stability there. Okay. So what can you tell us about Group 3's next relationship and their next romantic partner? Okay. Just see what they've got. Yeah, so what I can see is that recently you have felt a bit crushed by something. You have felt as though just something's took the wind out of your sails. There has been a relationship situation that's left you feeling flat, or that you've needed to recover from. And we have the Acme box here with the arrow pointing upwards. And so that's saying that like the only way is up. From here, the only way is up. So that's a really nice symbol there. I'm just trying to focus the camera. There. Okay, you can see it now, the arrow. So the only way is up from here. And don't worry if you feel a little bit out of your depth here as well, because we've got the person who has run off the end of the cliff and now they're scared because they haven't got that firm ground underneath their feet. Even though being in this relationship situation, especially if you've had a little bit of time out from that, may seem scary, just know that this person is very loyal and this person does want to just help you grow and to give you a loving relationship. So be aware of that. There's no need to be afraid of this person. And equally, like these people who are squaring up to each other, it's made me feel like maybe your inner self is at conflict with the self that you show to the rest of the world, because these people look pretty much the same to me, and it's landed on that card about showing the world the real you. It feels like there is an internal conflict going on for you. The stars here, that happens when they're having a fight in Looney Tunes and in old-fashioned cartoons. This is saying don't be dazzled by this person, even if they feel like so amazing and maybe they're like super attractive and really successful and all of this thing. Don't be dazzled by it. Don't let that overwhelm you or get you swept up so that you feel like this person again. You know, don't let that make you feel disorientated. Remember to stay grounded. There's another defensiveness symbol there as well. It feels like you are trying to protect yourself in some way. And we've got the wardrobe, and that's landed on the 9 of Hearts, about accepting good things for yourself. Maybe you do want to change your style a little bit. Maybe you're trying to lose weight, or maybe you're trying to just change your wardrobe a little bit, make it better for the season, or get some new bits in to make you feel a bit more confident, maybe getting your hair done or your nails or something like that. All of those kinds of things will just give you a little bit of a boost, because I know whenever I'm wearing something new or just had my hair done, I always feel more fresh and just more confident in myself. So maybe that would help you a little bit. And we've got Pinky Pig or Perky Pig here as well, and I don't know which one it is, but he's the one at the end who says that's all, folks. And this also makes me feel that this might be the one for you. Like, this might be the relationship that you stay in for the rest of your life. That's what it feels like. It feels as though this person is just very loyal, very giving, very loving. So that's a lovely message. So if you remember which gnome you chose, you can go to the timestamps and just jump to that. If you don't remember or you didn't pick one, go back to the start of the video and you can choose one there, because they're going to give you more information just to give you more of a personalized reading. So I'm going to get started with Gismund now, Gnome A. Hey there everyone, if you chose Gismund as your gnome, then this is the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag and see what Gismund has to say about your next relationship. Okay, so we have got 3 gnome tarot cards and then a Whispering Woods card and a Faerytale Oracle card, Advice from a Salmon. It's a Russian deck. So here we have Strashny Sud, which is Judgment. This is the Russian edition of the Gnome Tarot. Diplomatia, Diplomacy, which is Rytsar Mechei, the Knight of Swords. And Papiesa, the High Priestess. Okay, so you may have chosen, I think it was pile 1 that had this. Maybe it was pile 2, I've forgotten already. But basically this is like a really intense relationship that's coming up. If you were one of the piles that didn't really get much in the way of zodiac signs, then what I'm seeing here is air signs like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming through pretty strongly. Yeah, this is a past life relationship. This is a very deeply spiritual relationship. I'm seeing soulmate relationship here. This person might have a spiritual side as well. But what I'm feeling is more like philosopher. They're definitely a deep thinker. They're pretty intellectual. They are always trying to learn new things. You may meet them through work or through studying in some way, because they are always trying to educate themselves. They're always trying to improve, and they have a very quick mind as well. So they're the kind of person where you say something and they've come up with a joke about it like immediately, and it's like such a clever joke, but they got it like so quickly. That's what I'm seeing about this person. They have such a quick mind, and it just kind of amazes you how quickly they come up with things like that. So then we've got uncertainty. The shades of grey within the fog will eventually lift. So definitely that has been a repeated theme throughout all of these piles, that people have just been feeling as though they're not going to meet this person, or they're not going to meet someone that really gets them and that is really right for them. So just know that, I'm going to say it again, the shades of grey within the fog will eventually lift. Beautiful message. And ukusil zachvost. He bit himself by the tail. And this is 5 of crosses, if that means something to you. This deck doesn't have any guidebook. You have to do everything intuitively. So what I'm seeing here again is that kind of infinity feeling. It's the snake that's biting or eating its own tail. This is a relationship that has possibly been going on for previous, like more than one lifetime. This feels like something that's been repeating itself and being played out over several different lifetimes. So definitely this is going to be quite intense. This is going to make you feel as though you've known this person for a very long time. It's going to feel pretty familiar, but just know that it might be quite an intense connection. But I am seeing that a little bit more patience is needed, and then that uncertainty is going to lift. This person is kind of, I feel, going to come out of thin air a little bit, like really going to come out of the blue, because that's the Knight of Swords. He just appears out of nowhere. He's a very fast mover in that way. So that's what I'm seeing there for you in terms of your gnome messages. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you did enjoy it. Please do leave me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please do let me know in the comments how it resonated with you as well, because I'm super interested to hear about all of your situations and, you know, what you're looking for and all of that. So it really makes my day to see your comments, and I always try to interact as much as possible. So thank you for joining me, and if you would like a private reading on my Etsy page or an angel healing, because I offer those sessions as well, then just go there and remember to leave me the information that I ask for. You know, read the listing, because I'll always need your name and your email address, but if it's a reading, chances are I will need a question as well, and the names of anyone involved in that. So please do remember to just check. It's generally at the bottom of the listing, everything that I'll need. So just double check that you've got that. And if you would like to help out the channel in any way, I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page. We're building a little community over there, and it's just so lovely to get to know you all better. And I'm trying to post all kinds of different things there, like a lot of stuff about angels recently, discovering your guardian angels. I also post exclusive picker cards, and you get to vote on things like new decks that we get for the channel. I do also have an Amazon wish list for anyone feeling really generous who would like to get a new deck for the channel themselves, and I have a PayPal link in the description for anyone wishing to leave a tip for this reading or a small donation to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has done that, because I am so grateful for all of your kind and generous donations. So with that being said, thank you so much again for joining me, and if you're still listening, thank you for listening until the end. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I wish you all the love and happiness that you deserve. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, if you chose Gunvald as your gnome, then this is the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag. Let's pop you over there, Gunvald. Take a look in this gnome bag and see what Gunvald has to say about what's coming up for you. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got 2 gnome tarot cards, a Whispering Wood Oracle card, and a Sovietilo Sosia card, which means advice from a salmon. They're a Russian deck, original Russian deck. So we've got Desyatka Chash, Otpusk. So this is the 10 of Cups, and it says holiday. And then we've got Viselnik, the Hanged Man. Okay, so this is the Russian edition of the Gnome Tarot. So what I'm seeing here is that you are going to find fulfillment in this relationship. This is going to be one where you feel emotionally fulfilled, emotionally well provided for. And the Hanged Man makes me feel like you've had a kind of a hiatus from relationships recently. You've been doing some thinking, you've been getting to know yourself better, you've been trying to get this new perspective on your situation. Maybe you've been reflecting on previous relationships to figure out what went wrong, or you know, how you can stop something like that happening again. And the fact that it says holiday here, it says in the guidebook that it's not talking about a literal holiday, but it's talking about the holiday state of mind. So kind of cutting yourself some slack, relaxing, putting your feet up, choosing to enjoy yourself rather than berate yourself for something. So I think allowing yourself to receive and making sure that you're practicing self-love is important, and stopping putting pressure on yourself. I feel like you've been putting pressure on yourself recently, not just in love, but in life in general, like, oh, I'm not getting enough done, I'm just living day to day without achieving anything. And that's what I'm feeling from your energy. And so just reminding yourself to cut yourself some slack and to allow yourself to relax and to, you know, practice self-care, cozy up with a hot water bottle and a movie and some snacks every now and then. It's fine. You don't always have to be achieving something. And it's hard for me as well, because I have Capricorn as my sun sign, and it's also in several other important positions in my chart. So I really struggle to relax and to kind of stop seeing my life as a business. I always am just, every day I have targets of things that I need to get done, and I get really annoyed with myself if I don't do it, or if I just find myself watching YouTube or just not really doing anything. I get really annoyed with myself, and I just really struggle to relax. So I feel like you're maybe one of those people as well. So we've got the word teach, inspire others and let nature be your greatest teacher. So this is about setting an example to others. Would you want someone you care about to feel the way that you do about yourself and about your life, you know, choosing to live in a way that is inspiring to others? It's possible that this person that you meet will be a teacher, or that you're a teacher as well. There is an element there of education. Maybe you will meet them through a course or through learning in some way. And then we've got как ни крути. And this is a Russian saying which means however you look at it, or it doesn't matter which way you look at it, like it's still the same. And it's weird because we've got the hangman here, which is about getting different perspectives. And this is saying it doesn't matter. You've done enough self-reflection now. You've done enough analyzing of previous situations. And now it's like, it doesn't matter how much you analyze it, you're going to get the same result. So it's time to start moving forward. It's time to start moving on. And we've got the 1 or the ace of circles there. And to me, it does look like a 10 as well. There's no guidebook for this deck. You need to do everything intuitively. So that's what I'm seeing here. And it does also remind me a bit of the world card. So maybe this person that you meet will be from a different country or culture to you, or maybe you will meet them at like a language course, or you'll meet them online, because whenever I see the world, I kind of think of meeting someone online as well. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I would love it if you would give this a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it really helps out my channel. I am still a growing channel, and I would love to get these messages out to as many people as possible. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments as well how it resonated with you, because I love reading all of your situations and how a reading relates to you. I do try to interact as much as possible in the comments as well, because I think it's really important that you know that I read your comments and you know that I hear you. So I would love it if you would do that. If you want to book a reading or a angel healing session for yourself, or you can do it for someone else as well, I do give the option to mark it as a gift. Then the Etsy page link is in the description box. Please remember to leave your information there. On whatever listing at the bottom, there will always be what I need at the bottom of the description in the listing. So I'll always need your name and an email address, but if it's a reading, I'll probably need a question as well. And if you're asking about someone else, I'll need their name as well. That's how I connect to their energies in a private reading and make sure I'm getting the right person, you know. So please remember to do that. It helps you get your reading more quickly, and it streamlines the process for me, means that I don't have to waste time trying to track you down if you've forgotten something or if you've missed anything out. And if you would like to help out the channel in any way, I have a few links in the description to help you do that. I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page. We do exclusive picker cards over there and just random things as well about spirituality. We've been doing a lot about angels recently, guardian angel discovery. You also get to vote on things like which new decks we're going to get for the channel. So it's a really nice interactive space just to get to know me a little bit better. And I like getting to know all of you as well and building more of a relationship with you. So you might find some of that resonates with you if you check out that page. Also, I have a Amazon wish list for new decks that I would love to get for the channel. If you're feeling really generous, I would love it if you would give that a little look over. There might be something there that you really like and that you think would really work well on the channel, so just let me know if there's anything you'd like to get there for the channel. And I have a PayPal link as well for anyone who wants to donate or leave a little tip for this reading. Thank you so much to everyone who's done that so far, because you are honestly so generous, and just every time that I get it, I can hardly believe it. It's like, oh, how lovely that someone cares that much and that someone has taken their time out of their day to do that. It really means a lot to me. So if you're still listening, if you've waited till the end, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been lovely to give you these messages, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I wish you all of the happiness and love that you deserve. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hey there everyone, if you chose Geir as your gnome, then this is the second part of your reading. So we're going to look in the gnome bag and see what Geir has to say about what's coming in for you. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got 2 gnome tarot cards, a Whispering Woods Oracle, and a Sovietilo Sosia card, which means advice from a salmon. That's an original Russian deck. So we've got Vasmyorka Monet, the 8 of Pentacles, and it says Biednost, poverty. This is the Russian version of the Gnome Tarot, I should have said. And Imperatrica, the Empress. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, especially if you were the group that got the Emperor card, I think that was pile 3, because that's especially powerful here. What I'm seeing is that you need to set a high standard for yourself. You need to set high boundaries for yourself when it comes to relationships, because this is kind of, in this deck, this is what I call the breadcrumbing card. You know, this beggar, he's got his hand out, he's sitting in the cold, he's wearing little shorts, like he's just desperate for anything that someone will give him. And that's not what the Empress accepts for herself. The Empress knows that she is worth only the best and that she deserves to be treated like the Empress that she is. And so this is about remembering not to let someone give you these breadcrumbs, but to have what I call the full loaf relationship. So this is a phrase that I'm trying to get to catch on, so feel free to spread it about. But the full loaf relationship, where someone's willing to give you 50-50, they're willing to give you their time and attention, they don't try and make you prove yourself, they don't try and make you show that you're better than any other options that they might have, or compare you to exes or anything like that. You know, all of these are warning signs that you need to not be considering that person. You know, take the power back and say, actually, this relationship's not working for me, you're just not good enough for me. Like, you know, take that power back like the Empress would. So that's a beautiful message for you. And then we've got patience. Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. And I think that's a nice message as well, because in pretty much every pile there were messages about how people have been waiting a long time for this relationship to come, or they've just been not feeling quite ready to open up to that. And I can see the Empress has this butterfly on her shield as well. It feels like if you're not quite ready to come out of that cocoon yet, if you're still doing inner work, if you're still overcoming anxiety or fear or anything like that, that is fine. You don't need to rush yourself. You will emerge as this beautiful butterfly in the future, but you don't need to rush yourself or feel bad for not being in a relationship yet. If anyone's kind of making you feel bad or saying, oh, why haven't you found someone yet? You don't need to address that. It's just about going at your own pace. If you have been worried that things just aren't coming towards you, then just remember that everything works out in divine timing, and that it was important that you had this time to work on yourself. And we've got Развивай се внутри. Develop on the inside, develop within. And this is 11 of circles, which looks like 110. If that has any meaning for you, maybe that's a lucky number for some of you. There's no guidebook with this deck, so you just have to do everything intuitively, but it's 11 of circles, or 110, because that's what it looks like. So yeah, develop on the inside. This is about building yourself up from the inside out. It's saying that self-love, love starts at home, like happiness starts at home. You know, you've got to build up yourself and build up that inner reserve of strength and energy and confidence before you push yourself out there. And I can see there's a big clock there as well, again reminding me of divine timing. And all of these cogs and gears as well is just making me think of, like, you don't see that, you see the nature, the natural world, the 3D world, you don't see all of this stuff that the universe is doing invisibly around you. So I think that's a nice way of thinking about it. Like, yes, you see the physical world around you, but you don't see all of the effort and planning and context and nuance that's going into that the universe has different plans for or different ideas for. So just remember that everything works in its own timing, and you don't need to rush yourself, or you don't need to panic that things aren't happening as quickly as you hoped they would. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps out my little channel, and we are still growing here. We are still amassing more followers and trying to build up a nice big fan base. So I would love it if you would do that. It helps get these messages out to as many people as possible. I'd also love it if you let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. I do try to engage in the comments as much as I can. I think it's important that you know that I do read your comments and I do hear you. So I would love it if you'd let me know how this resonated. Also, for anyone who wants to book a private reading or an angel healing session, because I offer those as well, the link to my Etsy page is in the description. Remember to check the listing, like read the description of the listing before you buy it, and at the bottom of that description there's always what I need from you. So I will always need your name and your email address, but if it's a reading I'll probably also need, you know, a question, and if that question involves someone else then I'll need their name as well, so that I can connect to their energy in the reading. That's just how I know that I'm connecting to the right person, basically. So do remember to read that through. It just means I get the reading to you sooner, and it means that I don't have to waste time tracking you down, and I can get readings done more quickly. And if you would like to help out the channel in any way, I've got a few links in the description that I would love it if you would check out. My Patreon page especially, I'm trying to build a little community there as well, and it's lovely to get to know you better over there. That's basically just a space where you can get to know me better, and there's exclusive content there. I've been doing a lot about angels recently, like guardian angel discovery. I also do exclusive picker cards there, and you get to vote on things like which new decks we get for the channel. I do have an Amazon wish list as well for decks that I would really love to get for the channel. So if you are feeling really generous, I would love it if you would just give that a quick look over. There might be something that catches your eye that you think would be really nice for the channel, would work really well with some of the decks that I already have, because I do try and follow themes in some way so that I can put together themed videos. So that would be great if you were feeling generous enough to do that. And of course my PayPal link for anyone who wants to leave a tip or a donation. It's really humbling every time I receive that. It really astonishes me every single time. I'm like, oh my goodness, someone actually did that. That's so kind of them. Like, I'm just blown away by how generous you guys are and how you care so much about this channel and about the work that I do, that you want to show your support in that way. It just means so much to me. And whenever I'm feeling a little bit down, or I've had a nasty comment in the comment section, it really just kind of restores my enthusiasm for what I'm doing. So thank you so much to all of you who have been generous enough to do that. It really does just make my heart sing. So thank you. And have a great rest of your day, guys. If you're still listening, thank you for listening until the end. I do have a tendency to ramble, I'm sorry about that. But I wish you all of the love and happiness that you deserve. Please take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there everyone who chose Gjord as their gnome. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag and see what Gjord has to say about what's coming towards you, about your situation. See what we've got. So we've got 2 gnome tarot cards, a Whispering Woods Oracle, and also a Faerytale Oracle card, advice from a salmon. That's an original Russian deck. So let's see what we've got. We've got Dvojka Mечей, the 2 of Swords, and it says Zlost, rage, anger. And Semyorka Chash, the 7 of Cups, and it says Pravda, truth. So what I'm seeing here is you choosing to move away from situations in your past that have caused you a lot of negative feelings, maybe a lot of anxiety. Like, I'm just seeing there being a situation in your past. Maybe it was a third party situation, because that duality there with the 2 is making me think that maybe there was someone who wasn't being entirely faithful, or who was stringing along more than one person. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing there being something in your past that needs to be put to bed, like put to rest, like this, you know, finally defeating that demon, defeating that monster and putting it away. And then we've got the 7 of Cups, and this is truth in this deck. It's saying truth, and it's this gnome is singing the truth because he's drunk. He's drunk so much that he's started to tell the truth for once. So this is about, you know, understanding your truth, accessing your subconscious. And I think some of you will be from the pile that was all about an authentic, natural relationship where you show who you really are and you're not hiding anything and you're not feeling the need to kind of conform to what you think someone will want. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing you living your truth in that way. It's a very beautiful message there. Don't be afraid to show who you really are and to give truthful answers to questions if you're dating someone or messaging someone, rather than what you think they want to hear. And then we've got journey, branch out to new worlds. And that's interesting as well. Maybe this person is going to be from another country or culture. I think we got that as a message in one of the piles. Maybe you will also meet this person while you're traveling, or maybe going abroad at some point. Maybe you'll meet them online. And we've got Ty Mnogo Palma. So this says you're a little bit palm tree, like you're a little bit palm. And I don't know if this is from like a joke in Russian or if it's just completely random. I've asked a few people, they don't know like of any kind of joke that's related to this, but basically it just makes me think you're a little bit quirky, you know, you're a little bit funny, a little bit unique, and that's fine. It's fine to be who you are in this relationship, because this person is going to want to accept you as you are. They don't want the fake face that you might put onto the world, or they don't want a kind of clone robot person who just follows what looks good on Instagram or follows what celebrities look like, you know. They want you to be unique. And this is 2 of circles, or it looks like 20 as well, but it's 2 of circles. So that might mean something to you. This deck doesn't have any guidebook, so everything needs to be done intuitively. So 20 or 2 of circles might have some meaning for you. We have got another 2 there as well. But that's what I'm seeing. This is all about truth and being who you really are, and not letting anyone make you feel bad about that, not letting anyone make you feel wrong for being who you are. If anyone ever laughs in a negative way about something you say that's you being truthful, you know, it's fine to kind of have a giggle and say, oh, that's so funny, or like, that's a bit silly, you know, that's fine. But if someone is laughing or saying something in a way that makes you think that they're mocking you or that they're not being kind to you, then that's a red flag, and that's when you need to pull away from that person and start looking at other opportunities, other options for yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I would love it if you would give a big thumbs up to this video if you did, and to subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't already. It really helps my little channel out. We are growing still. We are trying to get these messages out to as many people as possible, so I would love it if you would just take some time to do that. Also, I'd love it if you'd let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. I do try to interact as much as I can in the comments. I try to reply, or at least, you know, react to as many comments as possible, because I think it's important that you know that I do read your comments and that you know that I do hear you. So yeah, I love hearing about all of your situations and how the readings resonate for you. Also, anyone who wants to book a private reading or an angel healing session, because I forget that I also offer those when I'm talking about the Etsy shop, the link is in the description. Please read the listing, like the description of the listing before you buy it, because at the bottom usually there's always what I need from you. So I'll always need your name and your email address, but if it's a reading, I'll probably also need a question and what else? Oh yeah, if there's someone you're asking about, someone who's really involved in the question, then please give me their name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy and make sure that I'm getting the right person in a private reading. I do also have ways to help out the channel in the description box, so if you're feeling really generous and you'd like to get a new deck for the channel, I have an Amazon wish list, as I said before. It would be lovely if you would just take a few moments to have a look over and see if there's anything there that catches your eye. There might be a particular deck that you think works really well with some of the others that I've got on the channel and you'd like to see it. It would really make my day if you were feeling so generous. Also, I'd love it if you check out my Patreon page. We do a lot of different things over there. So basically it's a way to interact with me more and for me to get to know you better. And at the moment we've been doing a lot of angel stuff, like guardian angel discoveries. I did the first angel healings on there as well before I introduced them to the shop. So you kind of get to benefit for a lot of things for free before I start offering them in the shop. I also do exclusive picker cards over there, and you get to vote on things like which new decks we'll get for the channel, just that kind of thing. It just helps you get more involved in the channel. And also I do have a PayPal link for anyone who wants to leave a tip or a little donation to the channel. It really makes my day every time I see it. Like every time I get that notification that someone has done that, I just am shocked each time. It's like, oh my goodness, can't believe how generous all of you are. It honestly brings me to tears sometimes that you just care so much about the work that I do and the content that I make on here, that you actually want to take the time to do that. It genuinely means so much to me. So thank you so much to everyone who's done that. You are so generous and it just blows me away, seriously. So thank you again. And if you are still listening, I do ramble a lot, I'm sorry, but thank you for staying until the end. This is my last group as well, Gjord's group. Have a great rest of your day. Please do take care of yourselves, and I wish you all of the love and happiness that you deserve. Bye bye, take care.